This is DC Channel Guns. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.
What up, YouTube? This is DC Channel Guns coming at you with another video. Now, this video here, we're talking about the Taurus G2C 9mm. Now, this gun is empty. There's no magazine in this firearm. Now, I want to talk about this Taurus G2C. Someone asked me a question, and they want to know, would I recommend this gun to a new gun owner? And my answer is yes. But now, some people might not like this video. Some people will. But Taurus has created a game changer. They're not getting enough credit. They had got some credit because of this gun, but they're not getting as much credit that they should. Now, I'm not beholden to nobody. I'm just telling you the absolutely truth on this gun. Now, I'm a Glock fanboy. I love Glocks. If you watch my video, you know that I'm a Glock person. But, at some point, you must admit that some companies got it right. And one thing about Taurus, they made a gun that anybody pretty much can afford. They didn't make it too high. They didn't make it too low. But they made it affordable for anyone to protect themselves and enjoy their Second Amendment. And I think that should be the concept when it comes to firearms. You shouldn't have to break the bank to buy a gun. Now, some people are going to tell you that, hey, you got to spend a whole bunch of money to buy a quality firearm. Now, I do understand that, the more money you spend on a gun, the better quality you get. Well, that's true. But what I do also know that everybody's not fortunate enough to have a whole lot of money to buy all these high guns, SIGs, and all this kind of stuff. It just don't work that way. So I think it should be a gun out there that anybody can get and should be recommended, and I recommend the Taurus G2C. Now, out of all the guns I got, you know what I carry? The Taurus G2C. Because at the end of the day, all you need is a reliable, affordable handgun. A lot of these guns, you can go to the range and you can put all the rounds you want through it. You can torture test them. You can do all this kind of stuff to them. But at the end of the day, I just need a gun that's going to do what I need it for it to do at the time that I need it. In a self-defense situation, a home defense situation, or whatever situation I need to defend my life, my family, and my friends. That's the only kind of gun I need. And this Taurus G2C serves its purpose. And it's a whole lot cheaper than most of the guns that I got. Now, I recommend this gun here because, for one, for the average gun owner, it's in a 9mm platform. I think, the average gun owner that start off shooting should start off with a 9mm, and once you get to understand the firearm and learn how to shoot and stuff like that, once you get on down the road, then you can step up to a higher caliber 40, 45, or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, I think this gun will serve its purpose for anybody. New gun owners that's been in, guns for a long time. I've been having my CCW for over 15 years. And, I carry this every single day. Every single day I carry this G2C. And I have put it through all types of stress, conditions. I have done some of everything with this gun on me. With the heat and humidity, the wintertime, I did everything with this gun. And it's still working fine. No problem whatsoever. Never had no jams or hang-ups. Now, I know people don't believe that, but for one, I'm the type of person that I believe that every time I use my firearm, I cleanse it. I'm not the person to sit around and try to let the firearm get dirty and see what'll happen if you don't clean it. Nah, I clean my guns every single time and I lube it. Because when you grab this weapon, you want to use any weapon. I don't care if it's a Glock, Smith & Wesson, whatever it is. You want that gun to be in 100% shape, ready to shoot and defend your life. No ifs and buts about it. So I do recommend, if you're shooting, no matter you shot 10 rounds, 50 rounds, clean your firearm every time. Always clean your firearm. Now, I did a video comparing this to the Glock 26. And, I love the Glock 26. It's an awesome firearm. Like I said, I love Glocks. But the G2C costs half the price of the Glock 26 that I got and shoot just as good. Now, is I'm going to sit here and say that I like the G2C over the Glock 26? No, I'm not going to say that. But what I am gonna say is, I feel just as good shooting the G2C than I do my Glock 26. I'm putting bullets down range. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. And I'm putting my bullets on my target where I need to put them at. Now, they don't shoot the same, but each farm has this certain way that you must figure it out to find its holding place, to get on target. That's every farm. And, once you sight in whatever gun you got and stuff like that, you're gonna deal with stuff like that. But now, to get back to the G2C, is that when I compare this G2C to the Glock 26, let's take a look at the sights. Now, the sights on this G2C is a whole lot better than the Glock factory sights. I can admit to that. A lot of people, first thing they do when they buy a Glock, they spend $500-600. First thing they do, they got to go buy $100 or more pair night sights to put on it, and then take the factory sights off. Now, these are not night sights that come with the G2C, but they're some decent. You got a real adjustable sight, and you got a front sight post up here. I think it's fixed, if I'm not mistaken, but you got the fixed front sight post, and you have the rear adjustable sights right here. You can adjust those. Now, when you buy a Glock, you don't get no rear adjustable sights. You don't get that. And like I said, with the dot and stuff that's up here, with Glock, you get that field goal post look. And you got a lot of people that hate that. You got a lot of people that like the 3-dot sights and stuff set up. Some people don't like that field goal sight with the front sight post, in the middle of the field goal. Some people don't like that. So that's a good thing that you get right out of the box with Taurus. Now, I had the previous model, which was the PT-111 Millennium, that had the lock on it. I hated it. I did not like that. In my mind, I figured that, I don't need things to go wrong when I need this gun. And I never really heard of that lock having interference with the gun or any problem. But I just want to have one less thing to go wrong when I need my firearm. It do have the safety switch on it for those who just starting out in guns. Some people are not comfortable carrying around in the chamber. No, not everybody is comfortable with that. Now, when I first started out, I was a little skeptical carrying around in the chamber. But as you progress, carrying firearms and get more information and start to see, to build your knowledge on guns, you will see that carrying around is probably the most logical thing you can do. Because if a situation happens, you might not have time to wreck the slide. You don't know if you can have your hands free enough to do it. That's why you see a lot of people trying to wreck the slide with their belts and stuff like that. I do encourage you to carry one in the chamber, but if not, that's personal preference. Build yourself up to that. But most people get a gun, they prefer to not have one in the chamber. Now, the safety, one thing about the Taurus, like I just explained, some people don't like one in the chamber. They have this little safety lock feature where some people might feel comfortable by putting this lock on, so they might not accidentally pull the trigger and a round go off. Now, like I said before, when you start to learn firearms, you never keep your hands on the trigger anyway. You always keep your hand, right up there, even with the gun, away from the trigger. You do not put your hand on the trigger unless you're willing to destroy what's in front of it, or you ready to destroy your target, whatever the case may be. So that's a good thing to practice that. Now, it does have where you can adjust the magazine. Now, I'm left-handed, so I adjust the magazine release on the opposite side. Now, if you're right-handed, the gun comes stock with the magazine release on the left-hand side. But I had to put mine on the right side because I'm left-handed. That's another thing for gun owners. This gun do have some ambidextrous features on it. Now, as far as the slide lock, it's on one side. But I've been shooting right-handed guns for a long time. There's not a whole lot of left-handers out there. There's a lot, but not as it is right-handed. So you kind of learn how to, go along with that. Other features, easy to take down and clean. That's one thing that a lot of people had to deal with when it came to High Point. When it came to High Point, when it was a budget gun, I never took mine down. I seen videos people taking them down, but it seemed like it was a pain, so I never done it. I tried to clean it as best way I knew how, but as far as that, I never actually took the High Point down. Now, the Taurus pretty much took some of the Glock features, and you got these tabs where you can pull down, just easily take the slide off. And it's not even hard. Up to my easy clean, It's only like 3 of your barrels and your spring on the inside, just like a Glock. If you're familiar with the Glock, just like it. So it's easy to clean. So that's another win for Taurus. When it came to capacity, it come with 2 12-round mags. My Glock 26 come with 10-round mags. Unless you add an extension to get another extra round, one in the chamber, you get 12. With Taurus, you get 12 in the factory mag plus 1 in the chamber. That's 13 rounds. That's the same amount of rounds a Glock 23 got. So, like I said, when it comes to capacity, the gun is pretty much just a tad bit bigger than the 26, lengthwise a little bit. But as far as that, you can't beat it. It's still very compact. It's smaller than, I want to say, the Glock 19 a little bit as far as the barrel and stuff. But you have a nice, reliable handgun for affordable, up to about $200. This gun on the high end, depends on where you get it at, should be no more than $240, $250 at the most. It could be about $10 higher, but on the average, it's not hard to find this gun for $200 or less. It's not hard. These guns has been selling like hotcakes. And it's a game changer because the gun companies don't want to admit that. You know, for years, people have asked for good, affordable. Now, there have been a lot of guns that has been created that was cheap, but it didn't last long. This gun here, I have probably put myself alone, probably less than 1,000 rounds, but probably no more. But letting my family shoot, friends shoot. There are guys at the range that be shooting. They heard and seen about them, never shot one. They shoot 1911s and stuff like that. And I hand them this gun, and first thing I tell them, I said, well, before you shoot it, this gun here is less than $200. And when they get to shooting it, they can't believe it. They cannot believe it. Then a lot of them, oh, I'm going to get me one. I'm going to get me one. And that's what I'm talking about. Taurus had made a game changer. Now, you can take this gun here. Now, the average gun owner who goes out and buy their first gun can buy this gun here. Now, there's been problems when you have first-time gun owners. You have people recommend all these guns. And so a lot of people go buy these guns. And because a lot of people on YouTube, a lot of people talk about these guns, they go buy them and then they don't like them. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. If you try to take that gun back to the gun shop, trade it in, you're going to lose money. And what I'm telling you is this gun is less than $200. You can go in the gun shop, buy this gun, and it's pretty much could adapt to just about any first-time gun owner. It don't have a big grip on it. People with small hands. I have big hands. My hand can cover this whole gun up, and it fits comfortable in my hand. Taurus got good grips on them. You know, most people buy guns end up putting like grip tape and stuff all on. You don't have to do that. Taurus made these grips so you can grip it. I shot this gun in the wintertime, snow, rain, and I get a good grip on it. My Glock 26 got grip tape on it, and it feels good, and I like it. But Taurus already did that so to keep you from spending more money. And when you buy this gun for the first time, you can take this gun to the range. You can practice and shoot with this gun. You can clean it. You can also use this gun for home defense. Later on down the road, you get your concealed carry license. And you can use this gun for concealed carry. You don't have to go out and buy another firearm. If you want to, buy another Taurus G2C. You can have one for home defense and one you can carry around. If anything happened and you lose this gun, or hope you don't lose it, but if anything happened, something happened to this gun, you're not out $500, $600. You're only out $200. You don't have to break the bank to get another one. And that's one thing I keep saying. Taurus here is a game changer. Now, I know a lot of people ain't gonna like this video. You're gonna have some people who thumb down this gun, but that's no problem. You can't change nothing that's already happening. And I'm here to tell you, and I'm gonna keep saying this, if you want a gun, the Taurus G2C 9mm is the gun you should get. It's very affordable. You can keep it as a car gun, and I don't mean leave it in your car. For God's sakes, people, don't leave your firearm in your car. That's how a lot of firearms get stolen and getting on the streets and the hands of bad people. So we got to stop that. But, you know, something to keep in your car, but don't leave it in there. Always lock your guns and stuff up. Get you a car safe or something, but just don't have it sitting in your car just for anybody to just find it and take off with it. So we need to stop that from happening. But get this gun here. I can't stress this enough. Get this gun right here. And like I said before, there's a lot of other guns that cost just 3 times as much and have problems too. You know, a lot of people remember when Glock had their problems. They had a problem with their springs. You know, they had when Glock released their new model Glocks and stuff. You know, couldn't cycle. You know, people having problems cycling weak ammunition and stuff. All gun companies got their problems. SIG had their problems. Everybody's gonna have their problems. There's no gun out there. When you're dealing with mechanical, there's always gonna be guns that have malfunctions. And you know, when you have companies that mass produce these handguns, there's always subject to a little problem. But the good thing about it, you know, we identify these problems early and the companies go and they fix it. And so, like I said before, there's a lot of videos on this gun here. And like I said, out of all the videos I've seen on the G2C, the P2-111, Millennium, you know, there's limits here and there. But so are there with the other rest of the manufacturers out there. So this is DC Channel Guns telling you, hey, if you want a nice, affordable budget gun, get the Taurus G2C. And don't second guess yourself. It's only about $200. It's worth it. If you don't like it, it's only $200. It's not like you're going to spend $700, then go back to the gun shop, say, hey, I don't like this gun. And then the $700 you spent or the $600, now they're going to only give you $400 for the gun because you're going to lose money. That's the way the system works.
This is DC Channel Guns. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.